we did go places, our security guards went with us. Once I turned 18 and started going out more on my own, they got me my own personal security guard. Jake wasn't that much older than me, and he was very cute, so I didn't object. He totally started flirting with me. I loved it so much, I kind of forgot to wonder why we needed more security in the first place. One night, Jake and I were lying under the stars together, talking about our future. I said I'd probably work for my parents' company. He laughed at me. Do you even understand what they do? That hurt. I don't know much about it, but I'll learn. He shook his head. You're so spoiled. You just snap your fingers and everything you need magically appears. How are you going to help run a business? I got embarrassed then. He acted like he was teasing, but he wasn't. He kept asking me questions about the company, and I felt embarrassed and stupid for not knowing the answers. I didn't want to be some spoiled princess, not even knowing where all my money came from. That night, I tried asking my dad some questions. He just told me not to worry because I'd always have whatever I wanted in life. Wasn't that good enough for me? Eventually, I gave up asking. After that, I barely spoke to Jake. I mean, okay, he had been right. There was a lot I didn't know, but he'd been rude to point it out. I kept hoping he'd be mad that I was giving him the cold shoulder, but he didn't seem to notice. Once, I slammed my shoulder into his in the hall as we passed, like I didn't even see him. But he just kept talking on the phone to his buddy about some big plan of theirs coming up. Except the next night, I came home to find my bedspread covered with flower petals and a card on my pillow. The card was from Jake. He apologized for teasing me and said he knew I was smart and would go far in life. I sighed dreamily, looking at the rose petals. I knew it was cheesy, but it worked. I was totally falling for him. On graduation night, there was going to be a big bonfire.
Capture your Fortnite highlights.
For the seniors at a classmate's house. I was so excited to go. I even begged my parents to let me go without Jake. I mean, okay, I'd been drooling over him ever since he apologized. This was the end of my senior year. I didn't want to be the girl who showed up to the party with a babysitter. Also, I didn't want to remind my classmates I was different from them. Ever since that night Jake had called me spoiled, I'd tried to be myself more at school. I was finally starting to feel like I fit in, like people liked me for me. Before I left, my dad shoved a huge folder into my bag. Here, he said, some kindling for the bonfire. What's this? I asked. Just some old bank statements and stuff. They say even when you shred those, people can sometimes piece them back together. Don't want to take any chances. Just promise me you'll throw it right into the fire, okay? I know I probably should have been crazy suspicious at that point, but I had led such a sheltered life. I trusted my parents completely. I walked to the party, ready to make the most of this night of total freedom. But suddenly, I heard footsteps pounding up behind me. It was too late for me to even turn before someone slammed into me, knocking me to the ground. I went sprawling, my bag coming off my shoulder. The person grabbed it, and out of pure reflex, I held on to one strap of it. We played tug of war, but the other person was stronger. They pulled the bag away from me and ran off into the night. Oh God, my dad was going to be so mad at me. What about the bank statements? Was the thief going to steal my family's bank information or something? I stood, my legs like jelly. I was scraped and bruised from the sidewalk. Suddenly, a familiar voice said, "Mila? Are you okay?" It was Jake. I didn't think. I just threw myself into his arm. What's wrong? He asked. I told him my bag had been stolen, but I begged him not to tell my dad. I didn't want my parents ever to know. Jake promised, and suddenly I realized how awkwardly close we were standing. My palms started to sweat. Did my parents make you follow me? I asked. I couldn't believe it. After I'd asked them to let me go to the party alone, even in the dim light of the street lamps, I could see him blush. No, he said. I was looking for you. I can't let you go alone. I worry too much. I think that was the moment I fell in love with him. My knight in shining armor. A couple of weeks later, my new happiness was shattered. I came home from a friend's house to find people in suits moving all the furniture out of my house. I begged for someone to tell me what was going on, but no one would. I didn't even know where my parents were. Finally, one of our maids told me that my parents had been arrested. I still didn't understand, but a sick feeling in my stomach told me that this might have something to do with my stolen bag and the folder my dad had given me. Poor, stupid little rich princess. My life was about to become a nightmare. A few years later, I was ringing up customers at a clothing store in the mall when a customer pointed to me. You're that girl from the news. You're scum, just like your parents. I was used to this happening. I had moved away from my former town, but people still recognized me. My parents' case had gotten international media attention. Apparently, they had been running a pyramid scheme for years. They'd stolen lots of people's money. My mom was under house arrest, and my dad was serving prison time.
À l'époque où tout était encore en noir et blanc, le prix, c'était déjà nous, car nous relevons chaque jour.
I'd been clueless. At first, I couldn't believe my old life was gone. I'd lost everything. My money, my friends, my chance to go to college. I hadn't even known where to begin looking for a job. An old classmate who felt sorry for me had helped me get this one. The only thing I hadn't lost was Jake. He was my rock, and he stuck with me during the trial and the mess that followed it. He wasn't officially my security guard anymore, but he would still walk places with me and chase the press away when they tried to interview me. I was so grateful to him. That night, we were sitting in our apartment with glasses of wine. It wasn't very expensive wine, and I still had to remind myself not to be disappointed by things like that. He'd made me a nice candlelit dinner, but my mind was still elsewhere. I finally told him about that customer. You know people are always going to be like that, he said. You can't let it get to you. I told him I knew that, but I just wished that my life hadn't.
Ja?
Hallo?
Ja.
Maar kan je dat doen? Doe dat. Joanna.
It turned out
wacht,
this way.
zat je
It
in de...
wasn't fair that I had to get a job. I missed my old house, and I missed my parents. You need to learn to work for what you want, he told me. You're not special just because your parents had money. They deserved what they got. It felt like a slap in the face. I stormed out of the kitchen and shut myself in our bedroom. A few hours later, he came in. He apologized and said that wasn't how this night was supposed to go.
Ja, ça va. Ik heb hem niet geklipt, maar ik had dat mooi gedaan.
Velvet box. He got down on his knee.
Dat is echt een YouTube
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. You're very strong, he told me. And I know that you are learning how to work for what you want in life. I admire that about you. Will you marry me? I could hardly keep from squealing. I jumped off the bed and pulled him up, and he took me in his arm. It was still another year before we...
Dus ik heb een piramidje plus een vloer geëdit. Dus een koon en vloer geëdit. En dan een koon, 2 muren, een muur geëdit.
had money for a wedding. As the big day drew near, I got some amazing news. My dad was getting out of prison early.
Mensen, goddammit. Godverdamme. Mensen zijn domboos.
Oké, een keer een paar keer deze in.
He would be there to walk me down the aisle. I hadn't visited him in prison until
heb geen
recently. For
guns.
many years,
Ik ga
I felt
dood.
so betrayed by him and didn't want anything to do with him. But I started answering his letters a couple of months ago. With this new chapter starting in my life, I realized I needed to forgive him.
Please niet
I told
doodgaan.
him that there was someone special in my life. Someone I thought he would be excited to meet, but I didn't want to give away the surprise until
Damn
Dad
it!
was out of prison
Wat
and could meet my
please,
fiancé
ga niet
face
dood.
to face. I hoped
Ja,
that
help
he would
mij
be
dan.
happy for me. 2 days before the wedding, Jake started
Oh, ja?
getting antsy. I wondered if he had doubts about marrying me. I finally
Dat is
asked him what
ja?
was wrong, but
Ben
he
hier aan het
wouldn't
campen,
say.
hè,
I
dat is
told
het.
him I was hurt
Zijn
that he would
hier
keep
rustig.
secrets from me, especially since we were about to be husband and wife. He said I was right. He was just nervous about the wedding, but didn't want to ruin my good mood. He didn't want there to be any secrets between us. Just love. I thought that sounded perfect. On the big day, my dad and I waited in the wings until it was time for him to walk me down the aisle. First, we watched Jake come out with his mom. Well, my dad watched Jake, and I watched my dad to see his reaction.
Ja, ik
He
had hem
looked like he'd seen a
Allee, laat
ghost.
hem, laat hem, laat
Oh
hem.
no, maybe he was
Laat die
upset to
dom
see a
doen.
reminder
We
of
gaan
our
hem niet
past.
doen. Hij
I
gaat
hoped he
toezeggen
would get
dat
over
hij
it and
het
help me
kan.
celebrate this
Zijn er
magical
nog mensen,
day.
Arma?
There was no
Nee, we waren gewoon deze mensen. Je moet
more
eerst
time to think
looten, hè?
about it before we started strolling down the aisle. I smiled bigger than I
pak
ever
die
had in my
kostje,
life as I met Jake at the altar. The rest of the ceremony was a blur. At the
Hoe zeg je
reception,
dat?
I danced and danced.
En?
My dad found me a couple of
was
times
over jou
and told me that
springen.
we needed to talk, but I was having too much fun. It was definitely the happiest day of my life.
heb
But eventually,
belletjes
he pulled me
gekregen.
off to the side. I need to tell you something,
Ik
Mila,
drop
he
die.
said. The man you
Ik heb
just
die zelf
married
niet
is the
nodig.
one who destroyed our family. I couldn't breathe for a moment. What are you talking about? He hired somebody to steal your bag that night. I thought I was being safe by having you take the folder and burn it. We were already under suspicion, so law enforcement was watching our property all the time. They would have noticed a fire. I wanted the documents destroyed off of our property. I couldn't believe what he was telling me. Jake would never do that, I said. He rescued me that night, so you wouldn't suspect him, my dad said. He told the thief exactly when to attack you, so he would be there to swoop in and save you. God, you're so clueless. What happened to us is your fault, I told my dad. No one else's. You're the one who stole from people. You deserve to get caught. I stormed away back into the reception hall looking for Jake. He might have done the right thing, technically, by exposing my dad's crime. But he lied to me for years. And just the other day, he said he wanted no secrets between us. What a hypocrite. I grabbed the punch bowl off the table as I walked in. Jake was busy talking to his best man and didn't notice me. I came right up to him and overturned the entire bowl on his head. He gasped and sputtered, dripping wet, bits of fruit clinging to his hair and his tuxedo. Honestly, it was the most satisfying moment of my life. Some people were laughing, thinking it was a joke. Other people looked nervous. The photographer was snapping pictures like crazy. And everybody's cell phone was in the air taking their own photos and video. You liar! I yelled at Jake. I took my rings off and threw them on the floor. Is it too late to take my vows back? Because even if I said I do, now I don't. For the next 2 weeks, Jake tried calling me every day, but I wouldn't pick up. I was once again in the center of a media storm. People would snap pictures of me on the street. I was in videos and memes all over the internet. I didn't care. I just stayed in my house, too depressed to go out. I was really clueless, and because of that, I lost everything. One day, on my way home from the store, I found Jake waiting outside my building. He begged me to come in, saying he wanted to talk. I finally gave in. We ended up talking for hours. He told me the whole story, how angry he was when he found out about my parents' scheme. He wanted to get some proof to show the FBI. Because he hung around me so much, he knew about my dad asking me to take that folder to the bonfire. I was trying not to cry. So, that whole time, you were only pretending to like me?
I don't want to die.
He begged me to believe that he'd always liked me, but he hadn't wanted me to join my parents' company and get involved in their crimes. He just wanted me to be my own person. And once I started doing that, he fell completely in love with me. You ruined my whole life, I told him. I know, I'm sorry. I thought about telling you 1,000 times, but you didn't, I told him. And you know what's ironic? You gave me the strength to be my own person. So now, I'm strong enough to tell you that I don't want you anywhere near me ever again.
Kijk wat ik heb. Ik heb
He
hier
said
een
he was
blauw
hoping we
punt.
could work things out. That
Kijk,
now
ik heb
that this
hier
was
een
out in
blauw
the
punt
open,
en
there'd
dan
be no
ik
more
heb een
secrets
blauw punt
between us.
gekregen.
So now, instead of a wedding photo in my apartment, I have a framed picture of me dumping punch over Jake's head. Sure, it's a little unusual, but it reminds me every day
Maar dat doet
that
niemand.
I'm
Zij zegt,
nobody's
you don't
spoiled
wanna
princess.
die, no go to riot, I'm not a papaya, I'm
Worth
just
under
a die.
now. Join millions of players across the
I don't wanna die! Maar nee,
My
dat
name is
doet niemand.
Amara and I am
En zeg
17
niet,
years
I
old.
don't
But I seem
wanna
to be the
die
only
of
one who
zoiets. Nee, we
believes
zijn wel
that.
leven.
Don't get confused just yet. I'll tell you everything, and I'm sure
Armor die
you'll
zegt,
agree
I
with
don't
me
wanna
too.
die of
Before you do
zoiets.
that,
I don't
though,
wanna
click subscribe
die.
and like this video. I might
Denk je
just
dat
appear in
iemand
your
dat wil?
dreams tonight.
Voilà.
I could not believe it was finally happening. I was going to meet my mom. The hospital called at 3:30 in the morning to tell my dad that my mom had finally woken up and was asking for him. I know this sounds crazy, but my mom's been in a coma since I was born.
Mensen
I
kunnen dat
literally
horen,
put
hè?
her in a coma, and she hadn't woken up once in 14 years. Until this morning. My dad burst into my room, almost knocking my lamp over on my bedside table. I startled awake, and before I could even open my eyes all the way, he said, "She's awake!" Before I continue my story, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to My Story Animated to hear more craziness like what you are about to witness. At first, I thought he was talking about me, and I was about to yell at him for waking me up. But then I realized what he meant. My mom was awake. My mom! I never heard her voice in real life. I never seen her eyes look into mine. I've held her hand, but she's never held mine. She's been here the whole time, but she has been so far away, too. She had had a complicated pregnancy with me. I was a stubborn fetus, I guess you could say. I decided that I wanted to come early, which caused a lot of issues for her, and she was rushed into surgery to get me out. She never regained consciousness after she was put under anesthesia, and because of her family's beliefs, my father never took her off the meds that kept her alive. I'd always had a feeling that at some point I would have to be the one to end my mom's life. But thankfully, it didn't sound like that was going to happen after all. I bolted out of bed and ran to get my
Ja. Nou broer, hij gaat mij daar blokken.
brother up. He was 2 years older than me, so
Yeah.
he only remembers small
Ik deed
fragments of mom in
niks.
real life.
Jawel. Waarom blok je me dan?
Huh?
Waarom was ik dan geblokt?
Ew.
After everything I've been through, I certainly deserved a happy ending. Sadly, I don't believe those exist anymore. I thought getting kidnapped was the worst experience of my life. Turns out, he wasn't done with me when the ransom was handed in. Before I get into any of that though, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. If you don't, a monster will visit you in your sleep. That's actually how all of this started, with a stupid urban legend.
Jullie
One
één
day,
keer mijn broer laten spelen.
Oké.
Wacht hè, ik pak eventjes een dansje. Kijk mijn nieuwe rip. Hey. Hey.
I'm you. Just answer the damn questions. Who are you? I have told you. Are you deaf? No. This is what I just said.
Allee, je mag.
Is bij een krijt. Hallo?
Ja.
Oké.
Ja, nog die.
Ja?
Maar ga je nog vandaag spelen?
Nee, een potje denk ik.
After you've done the work to grill your gratitude, this is the link system you up on the homepage. That would be the more. You're gonna just that pop the flag, change the morning fame icon to subscribe. Do that.
Bobby down. Dohaji. Wacht. Hey. Martin.
Ja?
Dodi.
Ja, dat was het. Ja, dan kun je mijn titel veranderen. En ik kan even vullen. Maar ze nu echo.
Ja, Bobby dan, je was een keer gewoon epic. Zo. Ai, boe. Oh. Dat was trash. Dat was helemaal dood. Dat was altijd dood. Martin.
Ja?
Doe ik van N&E.
Maar wat heb ik gedaan?
Maar ik wil met 2 keer. Martin.
Ja.
Voilà, hij is beter. Esje. Waar waren de? Hoezo? Ah, niks. Hey, maar bijvoorbeeld, ik kijk je live, hij doet live, ik kijk je YouTube, ik kan echt niet praten. Ik hoor jou niet. Kijk zacht.
Maar ik hoor jou goed.
Nee, in YouTube. Hij doet live en hij is zo zacht.
Misschien heeft je alleen jouw micro geroepen.
Eén team, jongens.
Ik heb een hondje. Een hondje. Oh, dat was niet echt. Dat was niet zo de bootje, maar het is vet ook al ja.
Iemand heeft de pump, iemand heeft de vest.
De vest is meer dan nervosa.
Wat je dit zegt?
Nee, ik doe expres voor de ledlight mijn lichten uit. Ja, doet die 3 jaar.
Jongens, iemand heeft een Merge 6 open gedaan.
Maar dat kan dat hij SMG heeft. Als hij punt is, als hij punt heeft, eerst voor mij. Niet alleen. Wat? Wat? Nee. Jongens, spelen jullie maar arena. Ik kan geen arena. Foei dan, joh. Ik kan nooit opwarmen. Bro, we spelen 10 minuten crea. Jullie denken dat dat opgewarmd is. Wat? Maar dat heeft Armar aangedaan, niet ik. Yo. Wacht, ik ben een skin aan de rommelen.
Jongens.
Wat? Ik
had 3260 punten en nu 2997 punten.
Ik had 4200 en nu 3080.
Dat is alles door jezelf.
Ik moet stoppen, jongens, mijn boos spelen.
Ik heb het bij een handje. Wat? Wat?
Wie warm up. Wie warm up. Oké. Blauw, blauw punt.
Blauw punt.
Gaan we fighten?
Ja. Maar niet meer met die heksen.
Wat?
Niet meer met die heks.
Wacht, hè, ik hoor je zacht. Wat blieft?
Niet meer met die heks.
Ja, oké.
Outplayed. Capture your best gaming moments. Let's say you had an awesome play.
Please tell me someone saw that.
3 months ago, I was home alone when someone rang the bell of my house. My parents were not at home, and I haven't invited anyone else. So I wondered whether I should open the door or not. My friends never come unannounced to my house. It was 10 p.m., so it was dark and quite creepy. Yet I was extremely curious to see who came to visit me late that night. Finally, I decided to check who it was. I opened the door and saw a young and especially handsome man. I was stunned. I truly believe that this was the mysterious prince that I have been waiting for all my life. In just 2 minutes, I came up with hundreds of theories of why he is here. Can you relate to the imagination of a 20-year-old single girl? Nonetheless, I wasn't able to say a word. I was overwhelmed by his tall figure and deep blue-eyed look. So we both were just looking at each other. And you won't believe what happened next. Before I continue, he came with the lamest excuse on the planet. He said, "Sorry to bother you, but my tire blew out. Are you alone or is there anyone that may help me?" I guess he was referring to my dad or another stronger figure. Anyhow, here's when I got scared. Reality hit me and I suddenly became aware that he can rob me, kidnap me, or even do something worse. And I am sure that he noticed the change in my attitude. I was as pale as a cloth. To calm me, he took a step back on the porch and decided to spill the truth. He said, "I'm not going to hurt you, but I need you to listen to me." I was about to slam the door in his face, but something kept me waiting. So I decided to hear what he had to say. He began the story by explaining that he was looking for me for months. However,
GG.
he didn't want to scare me, so he came by as a random stranger at my door. I almost fainted when I heard this. Was he a maniac? A psychopath who has followed me for a long time? No, he was my long-lost brother. What a turn of events. All my life, I believed that I was the only child. I never had anyone to share my secrets or even fight with. My parents were always spoiling me, as I was the only center of their attention. Can you imagine the emotions I went through when I heard this? A brother? A 24-year-old, tall and handsome brother. Anyhow, the story gets even more complicated. I finally decided to invite my brother inside. We were talking for 2 hours, but he didn't want to share the story of how we were related. At least not until my parents came home. I could notice the confusion on his face. He thought I knew I had a brother. That's why he wanted to wait for my parents, or should I say, our parents. 2 cappuccinos later, my mom and my dad finally arrived at midnight. May I remind you that there was a stranger in our living room? It was obvious that my parents didn't even know who he is. Their first assumption was that he was my boyfriend, and oh my gosh, here we go again. My protective father always felt the need to defend me against the male kind. At the end of the day, I was his little princess. So I can understand the reasons for his actions. He was about to fight my brother when he said, "Stop it, you know who I am. I am about to tell her." Long story short, we all managed to calm our frustration and sat on the couch. Suddenly, my mom started crying. I have never been more confused in my entire life. She said, "I hope that what we are about to tell you won't make you love or appreciate us less." I assumed that they gave my brother for adoption and they didn't want me to judge them. I instantly developed my theory that they were young and panicked. Apparently, I was about to forgive them. But believe me, when I say I was far from the truth. My mom was stuttering. Still, she wanted to be the one that reveals the whole story. She began by telling me about her pregnancy with me. She didn't even mention my long-lost brother. When I asked her why she is skipping that part, she answered, "You will understand." Apparently, there was an earthquake on the day when I was born. Can you guess how this justifies my newly discovered brother? Well, neither could I. To be more specific, I was born in our local hospital. My mother was struggling for days before I decided to come out. Obviously, I was indecisive even in the womb. It's a characteristic of mine that explains many actions I have taken in my life. Anyway, I was born in June. On this particular day, 16 other babies were born in the same hospital. It's not many, but as I said, it's a small town. And I should be lucky that there weren't more babies at the moment. I know it sounds confusing, but you will understand when I finish the story. During the conversation, my mom told me, as you already know, all babies look alike. Can you imagine my shock at the moment? My own mother couldn't tell me apart. Did they switch me with another baby in the hospital? And does this explain my long-lost brother? Well, I wish it did, but the reality was far worse. When my mother gave birth to me, she held me in her hands. Like any other mother, she wanted to smell me, to hug me and hold me tight. My father was right beside her during the whole journey. They were thrilled that they had a daughter. All their lives, they dreamed of having a girl. That's why I am as spoiled as I am. They truly gave me everything I ever wished for, from the fanciest clothes to the most expensive toys. But that's not what makes my parents special. They have always listened to me, dedicated their time and full attention to my concerns. And my mom and dad love me unconditionally, and they always will. So what could have happened on my birthday to make my mother so anxious? Is there anything that can stop me from loving them for a lifetime? Back to the story. My mother had to give me to the medical nurses. Then I was placed together with the other babies. This is the usual hospital procedure, so I still couldn't spot the problem. But as I mentioned before, there was an earthquake at the hospital. The important fact is that everyone survived this disaster. There were no victims in the accident. Well, except the sacrifice of the truth. I and the rest of the 16 babies were tangled together and transferred to a safe place. The issue is that the hospital didn't keep good track of our identities. There weren't any available DNA tests at the moment, so they decided to keep this as a secret. For years, the parents weren't aware of this issue. All that time, they believed that the hospital gave them their baby. More specifically, there were 10 female and 7 male newborn babies. After a few years, the truth came out. But it was already too late. The parents have developed strong relationships with their children. My parents didn't want to put me through such a stressful situation from a young age.
GG.
Ja, daarom word ik boos, omdat ik iets zeg, dan zijn jullie zo doof. Terwijl ik zeg, ja, ken me even niet. Ja, nee, die iemand kent
After all, they loved me as I am their own blood, even if I was not. As shocking as it sounds, I was then made aware that I have 10 mothers.
Dat jij zo doof bent. Dan moet ik weer met jou spelen.
My mom and my dad burst into tears. My mother started cursing my new brother. She started yelling and asking why he came. She was 100% convinced that I would blame them or even leave them as complete strangers. But she was wrong. I didn't blame my parents, not even for a second. I was just shocked by this new information. Can you imagine finding out that you have 9 more mothers, 9 more fathers, and a whole bunch of brothers and sisters? Of course, I am speaking hypothetically. I know that I can only have 1 mother and 1 father. But who are they? Are they the people I have been living with my whole life? Or are they people from a different culture? Individuals with other values and...
Not even a little bit.
Wait, don't you like me a little bit? I heard you like me a little bit.
I didn't know school could be this much fun. I now have 200 servants that do whatever I want. The best part is, I'm the only girl in an all-boys school, but not a single boy knows. Not even the teachers. The secret is the one thing that has given me the leverage that I need. All of these boys were coming to me for advice when it comes to their girl problems. And that's the reason why they're willing to serve me. My advice works. I mean, it really works. Before me, this school was filled with boys who couldn't even get a girl to look in their direction. Now, even the most hopeless boy has a girlfriend. In return for the advice I give them, the boys do my homework and buy me lunch. They save me the best seats in the class and cover for me whenever I'm late, or even when I decide not to attend a class. It's taken me a long time to reach a point in my life where I'm happy. It wasn't always this way.
Mijn micro, je weet.
Het was kippiebal. Sorry dat ik niet kon spelen vandaag, maar ik had gewoon een beetje druk. Ja, ik doe dat wel. Ja. Is goed. Ik weet niet, agro. Agro, mijn acronyms. Ja, ik weet het. Ik heb 3060. Ik weet niet, dat kan deze week vrijdag zijn, of zaterdag, of volgende week maandag. Ah! Dat is... Pa, hoezo ben je zo gezakt? Maar waarom speel je met Marcin? Ja, meisje. Maar speel dan solo. Oké. Ik kan toch tot 9 uur. Ja, allemaal excuses.
Look, yo, I never thought that I was gonna make a video like this. We've had ups.
You're cracked, Thick-Thighs.
We've had downs.
One on me? Hold on.
Thick-Thighs, you fucking suck! I can't even go through an arena game without getting sprayed by a primal shotgun. I just can't play this game anymore. Everyone just thinks that I'm played by my anuses.
Oh my god!
All good things have to come to an end, so... yeah.
Olam. Olam. Shisha ولا؟ Shisha ولا؟ Olam. Shisha ولا؟ Maar ik was in de auto, dus ik had gewoon TikTok gezien. Ik had gewoon Bitcoin nog gekocht, dus ik was daarmee bezig. Ik heb nu 50 euro. Ik ga 100 en dan ga ik opnieuw alles verkopen. Ja, nee dan, ik ga met dat geld investeren. Je moet gewoon geld op jouw account zetten en dan, je moet gewoon goede coins kopen. Ja. Maar dat is niet alleen Bitcoin, hè. Je hebt verschillende coins die veel geld pakken. Maar dat hangt er vanaf eigenlijk. Je kan gewoon Bitcoin vanaf 5 euro kopen, maar die Bitcoin die staat van waarde 50.000, dus... Maar ik heb gewoon zo kleine dingen die mijn geld oppakken. is goed. Ik was gewoon, nee, we moesten zo dingen gaan doen voor het appartement. Nee, maar mijn ouders ze gaan er geen bouwen of zo. Misschien, ik weet niet, maar ik woon zelf in een huis, maar we moesten gewoon appartementdingen doen. Voor die appartementen dat gaat gebouwd worden. Dan nog aan. Gewoon om alles te kiezen, de keuken en al te kiezen. Maar we gaan dat verhuren. Omdat je kaal zet. Omdat je scheef zet. Maar niet zo lang als mij. Hola 1 AP. Ik ben 20 HP. Ja, zeg maar. Oké. Had je vandaag voetbal, ja? Wel het tryhard. En dan gaat Stefan de Olm Apex spelen. Bah ja. Maar wanneer gaat hij zijn PC krijgen? Ah, oké. We gaan echt hard grinden als ik mijn PC heb ook dan. Wat? Ah nee, niet bij jou hè, om duo te zijn, maar dat was zo toen ik dat gevraagd had met die guy. Zo. Hij was zo die Romeinse guy, ik zeg wordt bij met hem duo en dat was de grap. Niet met de grap dat ik met jou duo ben. Bruh. Dacht je dat? Bruh. Bruh. Beetje toxic hola. Nee, maar dat was gewoon door kanker. Olm. Anders geprefired, my guy. Oh, ja, what happened, Bogdan? Ja. Olm. Hé, maar gisteren had je die guy van Rematch gevonden ofzo, die Romeinse. Hij was goed hè? Maar dan ken je die Romeinse guys of zo? Was dat ook via Revenge of wat? Heb je nog met... Ah, lekker. Ja. Maar, heb je nog met die guy vandaag gespeeld? Ah. Ah, en daarvoor werd hij boos. Ah. Ah, bruh. Maar hij is goed, hè? Ja, hij is echt aan het... Ik was gisteren jouw stream aan het kijken, hij heeft dat helemaal gereedgekut. Ik weet niet. Ah, ja. Wat zeg je? Ah, keyboard. Ja, maar dat is goed. Maar vind je dat gay dat je niet meer kan spelen na de dingen? Na de vakantie. Maar hoezo mag dat eigenlijk niet? Olom. Olom, waar bent jij? Wat is er met mijn aim? Ja. Oh, mijn dingen, dat is kankerslecht, mijn aim. Ah. En vond je dat goed? Ja, zo heel tijd. Oké. Zo right hand pick en al zo. Je hebt mij ook veel geraakt, Ange. Je hebt mij ook veel geraakt. Ja, ik weet dat, maar dat moet je doen. Dat is goed voor jouw aim. Zie je, anders je had dat niet gedaan, hè, Bogdan. Als ik jou dat niet had gedaan. Heeft Jonas jou nog lastig gevallen? Ah, serieus, bro. Ja, maar ik heb gezegd, hij gaat niet lang daarmee blijven. Heb je hem nog steeds geblokt, Axel? Ik ook. Ah ja, maar ik denk Stefan hij is een beetje te slecht voor Axel. Ja, bij mij heeft dat ook vroeger gevraagd. Ja, maar Stefan hij denkt dat hij goed is op controller. Hij zegt ook dat hij beter is als mij, maar... Wat is er met mijn 1 vandaag? Ik speel echt slecht vandaag. Bruh. Hey, GG's bro. Wat wou je zeggen, Bogdan? Wat bedoel je gewoon spelen? Ah. Ja, voilà. Ze hebben gezegd, omdat ik mee was gegaan, mag ik lang spelen. Ja, ja. En mijn vader zo. En mijn moeder ze maakt mij zo wakker om 10 uur. Dan ik zeg zo, krijg mijn pc mama, krijg mijn pc mama. En ze zegt, ja natuurlijk krijgt je die, zegt ze. Die kost 2600 euro hè. We hebben die geupgrade agro. We hebben gewoon 1000 gigabyte dingen gedaan. We hebben een van de snelste processors gedaan. We hebben een van de snelste RAM gedaan. Volle mij. Maar ja, tuurlijk. Ik kan 240 fps in game hebben. Maar ja. Ja, maar op jouw pc was ik al correct agro. Ja, ik ga jou gewoon een beetje carryen, geen probleem. Allemaal excuses. Ja, ja, door mijn bordje beter kan ik dan. Maar ik heb eigenlijk mijn tijd vernukt bij Jonas. Omdat hij was niet goed en hij kon ook niet goed worden. Here we go again. Oh maar, bruh. Ik haat 60 fps. Maar binnen een paar dagen heb ik mijn pc. Wallah, je suis positief. Ja, my guy. Ah, zo smooth, my guy. Oh, arrête bagar. Ah, maar ik word om sekser gitlan. Huh? Pauze. Bruh. Bruh. Nu ik ga jou veel koekjes laten eten, Olom. Bro. Je bent dokwadder. Da, ik heb mijn vader overtuigd. Overtuigd. Gewoon overtuigen, weet je niet wat dat betekent? Moet ik het in Roemeens Google Translate zoeken? Ja, ja. Google Turn. Oké. Bogdan, Olom. Luister. Convinge. Bruh, maar dat is Google Translate hè. Dus gewoon dat hij wou dat was, allee, hij vond dat goed dat ik heb hem kunnen overtuigen om dat te doen. Maar hij gaat ook soms op die PC werken, maar dat is nog binnen een paar jaar pas. Jawel, maar hij gaat daar soms op werken. Gewoon omdat hij is jaloers zodat deze PC zo goed is. Maar ja, bro, je denkt dat er een i5 agro. Kom, we gaan dan Discord call als ik mijn PC heb. Ja. Ja, maar we zitten gewoon jouw voice shit uit op Fortnite. Maar ik zit... Ja. Wallah, ik ga switchen. Ja, allemaal excuses. Wacht, ik ga even skin handelen. Ja, van waar heb je die V-Bucks? Wolle tryhards. Ga je nu sparen voor dingen? Oké, maar niet giften aan mensen. Niet giften agro, niet giften. Ah, maar mensen, motorskin is geglitcht agro. Ziet je dat? Ziet je dat of zo? Dat die motorskin. Wat is deze kankerskin agro? Ik ga wel een skin van. Ja, allemaal excuses. Ah, nu dat is goed. Nee, niet met hem. Bro. Gaat hij dat op Nintendo spelen? Bro. Ja, mijn moeder zult ook dat ik zo die muis koop dat je hebt. Ja. Ik weet niet. Ja. Ja. Je mocht die voor 100 euro hebben. Ja. Welk? Die Logitech, ja. Van vandaag. Ja, dan mocht je die Logitech hebben. Cheaper, goedkoper. Je mag die voor 100 euro hebben allen. Bruh, toxicula. Ja man, kom op man. Nee, maar ik heb die niet. Maar ik ga die wel kopen. Gewoon deze week, denk ik. Ah, voor de PC te kopen. Bah, ah ja, maar kan je dat niet laten repareren? Oh, maar Sen, hij wil bij mij, oh, hij wil met mij GTA spelen. Maar hij ziet dat ik heb gezegd vandaag om te spelen. Oh putain. Ik ga mij offline zetten. Of ik heb mij offline gezet. Ja. Maar hij heeft dat gezien dat ik online was. Alleen als hij op Fortnite gaat, ziet hij dat ik online ben. Weet ik veel, Aaron. Ik weet niet. Ja, wacht even. Ik heb 360 gedaan, joh. Kalm. Maar bro, deze edit sensitivity is niet goed, maar op PC is die wel goed. Die ik gewoon bij jou had gedaan om te spelen. Maar op PC die is wel goed. Allee, bij jou op PC. Niks begrepen. Ja. Ik ga op keyboard daar gewoon. Ja, ik weet het, maar ze zei gewoon dat dat goed was. Ja, maar ik weet niet eens of ik op PC ga spelen, maar ik denk het wel. Allee, ik weet niet. Ja. Ja, ik was even op keyboard. Ja, maar dat is niet goed. Ik zet dokkodder. Ik zet mongraal. Waarom crouch jij? Ja. B? Putain! Ik ga me op away zetten, wacht. Laat dan. Bro. Maar ga je dat met jouw geld doen of met jouw ouder? Giften man. Wacht even dan gewoon. Voilà, Rogi. Mijn vingers ruiken naar de kwikaro. Ik heb dat gezegd hè. Op Discord. Dat ik kwik gegeten heb. Maar je schrijft gewoon altijd op. Ja, allemaal excuses. Ja. Bij mij is niks zo. Van wat? Nee, heeft mij niks gezegd. Maar ik zeg gewoon een vriend van mij is er. Dan ik. Ja. Ja, dan doe ik gewoon een stemvervormer. Wat? Voilà, mijn aim is echt slecht. Ha, guy. Maar hij zit mij wel te inviten. Nee. Hij gaat zeggen, ja, kom GTA. Dan hij gaat zagen, want hij gaat zeggen, ja, je hebt dat beloofd. Nee, ik heb dat niet geschreven, maar hij gaat zeggen van, ja, je hebt dat beloofd. En maar ik heb gezegd, ja, misschien morgen, maar ik heb niet gezegd dat ik dat. Maar ik speel echt kankerslecht. Nee, maar mijn sensitivity, dat voelt niet goed. Ik weet niet. Maar mij. Oké. Kom, we gaan matchmaking hierna doen. Maar ik heb kankerhoge ping, daarom speel ik zo slecht. 20 ping al. Ik ook. Ik heb 20 ping. Ik weet niet. Bruh, je had al gestart.
Is my glizzy tuck. Only like it sloppy, she gon' be boss when she sucking me. Told her bring a friend if she ever think about fucking me. Touching who? Touching me to God, where your ass gon' be. Leave him stuck in.
Ja. Allemaal excuses. Ja. Oké. Doe medium. Kies, maakt mij niet uit. Oké. Bro, dat is te makkelijk, hè. Ik heb denk ik iets bij mijn settings fout. Ik had confirm edit on release niet aan. Nee, dat is goed. Ik weet niet. Zo, ramp en wacht. Zet je al klaar? Nu. Oké.
Up like he fucking with Cardi B. Park the car before we hit the street. I'm hopping out on feet. Get up close so I can see his teeth, but I'ma keep it brief. Ask did he remember me to introduce him to my heat. Straight off the block, you following this Kyle with big cream cheese. Ain't no bush to beat around, you not ducking 100 rounds. Whole hood been down for the count, cause we just beat it down. Ain't gotta spin back around because my target hit the ground. Cross that line, you out of bounds, they gon' find you up in the crowd. Nappy ass dreadlocks, black forces, black socks. Make the Draco pop, it's louder than a boombox. Shout out to OVO, the Drake and make your bed rock. With beef on 4 and no, just check the score and say a lot. Ayy, I'm in Miami, she giving me head on Ocean Drive.
Oh,
All the niggas outside,
like...
told me so good, I thought that I died. But when I nutted, I had come back alive. Skid on her face, it got in her eyes. Now she telling me she legally blind. Gave her a towel and told her she fine. She kept sucking till she started crying. Point him out, shoot him out. I spotted him, I got him, he started running, so I caught him. Bang on his head, I bought him. Told my shooter do everything that I taught him. Let me know if there's a problem. Like a schoolboy, I be super quick to solve it. Thinking my shooter retarded, he take a pill of this, snort it right off his foul. Snort it right off his gun.
Moet dan niet bijna lang klaar. Ja. Ja, is goed. Ik weet niet. Ja. Nice.
Paid 100 for a bond. Send it this, I won't respond. Slam dunk a nigga like a nigga with LeBron. Leave a nigga where he stay. Same place that I met him, I made him late. Let a nigga come and play. He gon' tell his mama playing the funeral date. I got your power like Nelson Mandela. You need an umbrella whenever I spray. Leave him city like Nutella. He gon' need a pamper if he survive this case. Me and my niggas, we down for whatever.
Julie shouted at me as I packed my bags. OMG! You aren't seriously going with him? What kind of freak adopts a 16-year-old? He must be a psycho. I don't know. Maybe the universe is finally smiling down on me. I couldn't tell if my best friend Julie was actually scared of the eccentric man waiting for me in a limo, or if she was just jealous I was getting adopted by a billionaire.
Ah, putain. Ik denk dat ik ben opgeruimd. Mijn edits gingen wel zo. Ja. Ja, kom matchmaking. We hebben toch tijd genoeg. Yes.
I assured her I was just a phone.
Ah, nee. Ah, dat is de nieuwe pump. Oh, mij kwijt. Jawel, dat is de dingen, dat is de primal shotgun. Ja, ik weet het. Hij eet mij letterlijk hierdoor. Maar dat is niet de echte akko, hè.
Hey, I'm Kenya, and I'll share my story of how I survived living in an orphanage. But first, make sure to like this video and hit subscribe. If you do it, the fairy godmother will bless your life with love and money. So I've been living in the orphanage for as long as I could.
Voilà, gewoon. Gewonnen. Ja, maar ik heb gewonnen, dus ik weet het zeggen. Ah, maar we krijgen altijd die poep shotgun. Ah, kom doen nieuwe. Coole aqua. Ik doe nieuwe matchmaking. Oh, ça va. Zeg mijn ballen. Invite hem, ik ga hem helemaal uitschelden voor jou. Ah, maar laten we dan. Oh, is deze kankers? Ja. Ja, maar je doet altijd hetzelfde liedje nou gewoon. Nee, Olm. Shush. Ja, maar de color van de map is geglitcht bij mij. Omdat ik in die kleeddingen ben gegaan. Huh? We zijn met 5. Huh? Wat? Er was net een guy met 5 op mijn dingen. Allee, 5 guys op mijn dingen. Honderd op site. Dokwoord ook. Als we deze winnen, dan gaan we nieuwe doen, want ze zijn niet goed. Of ze doen al nieuw, oké, doe jij ook. Waarom starten mensen zo snel een nieuwe eigenlijk? Gewoon omdat ze spijs hadden gedaan. Bro.
I needed some
It's popping, let's go. Oké, spins, maar maakt niet uit. Maar iedereen wil spijs, ik weet niet. Oh man, deze guy letterlijk wil spijs. Dat is zo cool, hè? Ja, man. Beetje toxic, Bogdan. Oh, deze guys zijn zo poep slecht, ik kan niet eens editen. Ik ga dansen op je vader. Ah, ze lachen. Bruh. Zwet. Maar ze sprayen me. Oh, ik kan niet eens editen. Hoe slecht speel ik? Oh. Nee, ik speel niet goed. Ja, maar ik zit al vast. Oh, maar. Eentje is doodgevallen. Nice. Maar ik had om oncontroller. Maar ik speel kankerslecht. Ja, mijn. Nee, eentje. Dat zijn vader. Wat fucking spijt. Eentje bijna krijgt hij daarom. Ik heb geen mets meer, bro. Ik ga even mijn controller spelen. Alleen mijn andere controller. Ah, ze lachen willen, ze gaan nu zien. Soortige nu. Ja. Hier dubbelding op zijn vader aankomen. Ik ga Minecraft spelen, agro. Ik kan weer niet editen. Kankercontroller. Ik kan niet editen, bro. Wat is dit? Wat? Mijn neem is hier op, maar deze controller wil met dat. kan niet bouwen. Maar ik kan niet bouwen. Kijk, ik blijf letterlijk in mijn edit vastzitten. Oh, ik kan zo jullie kanker.
Pistol on my hip like I'm a cop.
Oh, ik heb eentje. Ja. Ik speel echt slecht, ik weet niet waarom. Dat is gewoon door een hele dag niet gespeeld hebben. Maar stop met kankerspray, oh, ik hoop echt aan je zus dood gaan. Oh, maar ik weet het niet, maar ik speel echt kanker. Bro, ja, kom maar Arena. Ik ga even spugen op mijn controller. Brown. Wat?
Deze twee kinderen proberen tegen me aan op GTA. Ik own hun kanker, moeten ze komen opeens in mijn park. Ze gaan de hele familie uit en zo. Ik heb ze gewoon gered, jongen. Boys, dit.
Ja. Maar je bent toch bezig? Waar wilt je? Kom maar eten. Maar dat lukt niet, ik weet niet waarom. Ik heb dat gisteren op mijn iPad gedaan, maar op mijn telefoon dat lukt. Ik weet niet, klant bij gewoon winkels. Ik bedoel bij huizen. Mensen vliegen nog. mij. Eén AP. Ja. Dus hij was mij helemaal aan het sprayen. Maar deze primal shotgun is echt te hard genurfd, ik weet niet waarom. Ja, dank. Nee, ik heb ze allemaal opgevuld. Oh, mensen komen pushen. Mensen komen pushen. Eentje gekrekt op dat dak. Nog eentje gekrekt. Kom. Kom. Dood. Kom chilltjes. Ja, kom. Kom. Oh, wat? Oh, deze shit is echt... Ik wil echt mijn PC hebben.
It was the happiest day of my life. I was finally going to his concert. We were trudging back home when I met you in the car. So nothing hurt, no nothing in my heart. Whoa. Hi, I'm Stacy, and this is my...
My name is Z. I lived with my best friend Gwen. We've been together since we were young and ran away from our foster home. Things were working well until I met my next door neighbor. His name was Adam. He was too handsome for me to ignore. I fell head over heels for him at first sight. One day I worked up the courage to go over to his place to introduce myself. When I reached Adam's house, his front door was
Wie van? Sinne.
already open.
Sinne heeft net een video geplaatst. Wie van? Nee, gewoon TikTok dingen.
I walked inside and called out his name, but I heard no response. Suddenly, I heard a growl behind me, and I froze. It sounded deep, like it belonged to an enormous dog. When I turned around, I shrieked like a maniac. There was a tiger behind me! A freaking tiger! I screamed again, walking backwards, falling over the couch. I jumped up and tried to run, but the tiger was blocking the door. Suddenly, Adam appeared with a huge stick in his hand. Then he shot it with a tranquilizer gun. The moment the tiger fell, I fainted with relief. My entire world turning black. I woke up to Adam giving me CPR. I felt his hands on my chest, his lips on mine. I woke up gasping, reaching for my inhaler. I was having an asthma attack. Once I became stable, Adam got me some water. I forced him to explain himself to me as soon as I got the courage to speak again. He told me that he was a smuggler. He brought in tigers from abroad and he sold them to rich people living here in our city.
Kies. Ja, maar ik kan dat niet. Ik speel kanker slecht. Ja, naar waar? Bruh, dat is niet eens op vakantie. Dat is gewoon in België. Ja. Kom, dat wordt onze duo spot, maar ik wil gewoon een PC hebben. Ik speel echt kanker slecht aan. Oh, ik wil gewoon echt een PC. Mensen. Allee, ik hoor de gliders. Ja. Guy. Hoort je hem niet, hierboven? Ik kom. Ja, ik kom. Kom proberen naar mij. Nice, shake. Ah. Mij die perceper van die Billy guy. Oké, tryhard. Was die guy goed? Let's go. Waar staat hem? Dit wordt onze duo spot, my guy. Dat is een goede spot. Wat zegt je? Hoezo hebt je hem? Ah, maar er lag gewoon een makeshift binnen als je... Ik weet niet. Ik denk zo waar dat is opgeblazen. Ah, en hier is ook gewoon een makeshift. Wilt je hebben? Ja, wacht. Kom. Waarom zit je met Lilnes in jouw hoofd? Ja, kom, we gaan naar die slurp dingen. Ik moet nog full shield. Allee, jij ook full shield krijgen. Meister. Call me what you want, call me what you need. Na. Pfoh. Franstalige guy be like. Ik weet niet. Je moet ook die edges pakken voor een challenge. Dan zeg mijn ballen. Ik heb 2. Kom, ik heb ton. Tonnen. Oké. Ja, maar je mag dat niet hakken. Ah ja, zo. Daarboven zijn er nog. Oké. Ja. Waar? Maar. Heb jij minis of zo van? Ook. Ik weet. Kom. Ah, mensen zijn aan het schieten. Ja, hier. Ik ga in die guys in de rug komen. Maar stil. Ja, ik weet het, maar ik ga... Ja, ik weet het. Chill. Ik moet goede aim assist krijgen. Nice. Maar je had dat tegen moeten zeggen, anders had ik ook geschoten. Correct, white! Ja, correct. 70 correct. Ja, kun je dat? Ja. Kom, pas op. Kom. Man. Nice. Nog een guy. Goed. Maar ik kon niet bouwen ofzo, ik weet niet wat dat was. Ja. Het jij AR ammo voor me? Ah, hier ligt. Ja, zo. Nee, dat is goed. C'est bon. Ik weet niet. Oké. Nou, ça va. Ik heb paarse pump, paarse score 3 minis. Ja. Maar ik heb de beste AR in my guy. Nee. Ik ben de controller player. Maar nu speel ik op keyboard. Oh, sorry. Ik speel op keyboard, ik ga iedereen prima. Oh, mensen. Kom. In whipping. Nee, maar ik hoorde net schoten. Ah, oké. Oh, mensen vliegen. Ah nee, dat is een auto. Een dino, sorry. Ah ja, geen niks. Headshot. Ik heb hem geheadshot. Dat is één dino, ben je bang van hem? Dat is een vader uit. Nu blij. Shotgun die is blij erop. Nee, pak maar. Behalve als dat gouden pump is of gouden score. Nee, ik lach. Nee. Kanker allemaal. Bruh, hoe je kan beter zijn. Waar? Ja, niet. Ik zeg als wanneer je gaat schieten, wacht. Okay. Ja, 3, 2. Wacht, nog niet. Kom. Ja, kom. Ja, hier ze zijn aan het fighten, kom. Dat is tegen een... Ja, scar. Maar hier zijn nog mensen, pas op. Correct op dingen. Op rode voetbalskin. Ja, wel ja, ik heb hem gecrackt. 100. Dood. Zijn teammate komt. Pas op, pak die loot, Bogdan. Kom hier. Ja, hier is een zoek. Oh, correct. Wacht, hij is boven, pas op. Nice. Oh, there. Huh? Ja, we zijn aan het fighten, kom. Probeer naar beneden te schieten. Nice. Hold in, Bogdan. Er gaat nog een guy uitkomen. Denk ik. Huh? Kom, we gaan deze potje winnen, Bogdan. Oh, hier een guy. Krijgt mij slecht, hij sleept Bogdan op mij. Oh, wallah, ik ben gebeamd. Bogdan, hold voor mij, hold. Ik ben bijna klaar. Ik heb eentje 30 in de bush. Maar hij heeft te grote aim, die guy. Dood. Hoe dan? Eentje. Ja, maar hij heeft te... Oh, ik word letterlijk gesprayed. Oh, ik heb eentje knockbook, dan pak mijn finish. Maar putain, word ik weer gebomboed. Wallah, ik bombardeer je hele familie. Kom. Kom, Bogdan, wallah, wacht. Maar... Heeft ik hem gehit, Bogdan? Nee! Oh, mijn... Maar, oh, hij heeft kanker.
He brought them here from the docks in his truck and stored them in the basement. There were 5 tigers in his house at the moment. One of them got out due to rot in the walls. I couldn't make sense of this. How much money could a tiger possibly get him? Could it really be enough to risk being eaten alive? Adam told me that one tiger could go for millions of dollars, if not hundreds of millions. I was amazed at this news, with the sale of only one of these animals. This was the kind of money that one could not pass up on. I told Adam that I knew that this operation was highly illegal. If he didn't want me to rat him out, he would have to give me something.
Shisha.
He would have to allow me to join his business and get my own share of the sales. At first, he was unsure, unwilling to be blackmailed. I told him about my experience managing my own business, to show him I could be valuable. Eventually, he agreed that he could use a second set of hands, and he was already searching for help. Having his neighbor help him would be convenient, too. He agreed to my terms, and I went home for the evening. The next day, I joined Adam's tiger smuggling trade. Every night at 7 p.m., a buyer would stop by. Adam was extremely careful and only allowed one buyer to visit him each day. The buyers were enormously wealthy. A sheik, a princess of an unknown island, a business tycoon. My bank account began...
I was the only boy born into a girl's village after 20 years. When you're the first boy to be born into a village chock-block full of girls after 20 years, let me tell you, that's some burden to bear. All you guys out there are probably thinking it must be like winning the lottery. Girls flocking to your feet everywhere. Yeah, it kinda was like that at first. But then things just got weird. Okay, so I live in a small village in East Europe, and the women have been giving birth to only girls for the past 20 years. We aren't really sure why, but my village believes that they got cursed from a witch that they kicked out a long time ago. But if you ask me, I think God is the one punishing us for kicking her out. On top of all that, people in my village are not allowed to marry people from the outside. So, the moment my parents realized I was a boy, they quickly wrapped me up in a blanket and kept my gender a secret. They told everyone I was a girl and that my name was Jackie, when in actual fact, I was a boy and my name was Jared. A little bit weird, right? But my parents hadn't known so much, and I was candy in front of my face, and like a little puppy, good boy, she, but never forget. And I looked. I didn't know lying to me. And seeing as my parents were keeping me a secret, she'd hand me over and collect the reward money herself. Started no see was at that moment that happened towards our village by, and my mom burst into now. Turns out parents had no other choice. They had to tell the mayor and everyone else that I was actually a boy and that my name was Jared. But I like being Jackie, I told them. That just made my mom cry more. And when she switched my dresses for shorts and t-shirts, I felt strange. I thought no one would want to be my friend anymore, but I couldn't have been more wrong. All of a sudden, every girl wanted to be my friend. I was the center of attention, and honestly, it was too much. I was
Bogdan.
just a kid.
Bruh, maar ik ben al lang in een potje. Hè. Huh? Je hangt bij mij in de lucht.
Suddenly, I had girls hanging
Bro, maar wat
off
ben je
me,
dan?
wanting to play with me all the time. How come I was more popular as a boy than a girl? Anyway, the older I got, the more intense it became. When I turned 12, the village mayor started a new tradition.
Die klieven
From
of
now
zo.
on, every year on my birthday, I'd sit on a throne for the whole day. And all
Ja,
the women who wanted to
natuurlijk.
conceive baby boys would come and bow at my feet. And one by one, they'd reach out and kiss my feet. It freaked me out so much. But the mayor told me he'd buy me a special gift if I did this one
heb
thing
nog
for the
geen
village.
eens een wat.
One time, though, it was taken too far. One
Wordt
woman wouldn't
gepusht. De
stop
enige
kissing my
wat ik
toes,
heb is een
and
bombo.
suddenly, I felt a sharp pain shooting through my body. She'd gotten so carried away, she'd actually bitten down. I was even bleeding. After that, I refused to do it the following year. It was just some stupid ritual that the village thought would bring them luck. And come on, it wasn't even working. I was still the only boy. When I turned 18, I decided the only way to handle all the attention was to just embrace it. There was one girl, Sammy, who was actually pretty cute. And after she basically begged and stalked me for weeks, I agreed to be her boyfriend.
Oh,
Of course,
130
all the
headshot
other
met
girls were
bombo.
jealous,
What
and
the
I was
fuck?
worried I was about to start World War
Maar
III.
het enige wat ik
Looks
heb
like
is een
Sammy
bombo.
won. I actually felt like I was really falling for her. And one night, she invited me over to her house. Her parents were out, so we started making out. She was really hot. She reassured me they'd only be home much later.
Oh, ik heb
But
een
suddenly
white.
we heard the
Oh,
door.
fuck.
I leapt behind the sofa half-dressed, and then things went horribly
Maar hoe
wrong.
slecht kan je
Well, how
zijn?
did
Hij
it
mist
go?
letterlijk
Did he put a
alles.
baby in you yet? Come on, Sammy, we aren't paying you
Het
all
enige
this
wat ik
money
heb
so you
is
can
een
sit
boel.
around. Give us a grandson already. I couldn't believe it. She'd been using me. I stood up and gave her parents the biggest fight. Then I turned to Sammy and said, "Screw you. I hope it's a girl you have." Then I grabbed my clothes and walked out. I never wanted to see her again. But then
Voilà,
later she
Jurgen.
fell off the stairs and had a miscarriage. To everyone's shock, Sammy was actually pregnant with a baby boy. After that, the whole village knew about it and made them go even crazier. Women lined up
Bogdan,
outside
ga
my
er
house for the whole
Oh, maar
day.
dat is kanker.
Some even tried to enter my home. Everyone wanted my number and my social media contact. They even put security to watch me. But then I was like, screw it. After the way Sammy used me, I decided to get revenge by dating as many girls as possible. Girls were basically falling at my feet, while guys around the world were doing the impossible to get girls' attention. So I dated a whole bunch of them at the
De
same
complex
time.
skin is
and they
nice,
did
maar ik weet niet
everything
of
for
je die
me.
wilt.
They got me food, gave me massages, and I got all kinds of gifts daily.
Of de Night
I
Beam
mean,
skin.
we all know how much fun a guy like me can have with girls. They were just so hot and amazing. And the best part, I didn't have to work for it. But there was so much expectation. They all wanted sons. I wasn't ready to be a father. Babies were so not my thing. I tried to talk to my mom about it, but suddenly she started crying. I told her I wasn't interested in hearing about how much she wanted a grandson again. But then she...
So, here we go. Our battering ram is almost in position. Hopefully, once we get this in, we should be...
took me by surprise. She told me she was sick, and that she didn't have much time left, and that she only wanted me to be happy. I felt so guilty. Was I being selfish? Why couldn't I just give my mom what she truly wanted, which was clearly a grandson? After our conversation, I asked Amy, who lived next door to us, if she wanted to be my girlfriend. I made her swear to keep it secret so that the other girls didn't get jealous. I felt like time was against us. Mom kept getting more sick, and Amy and I were having no...
Kies. Olm. Ja, Olm. Kies op hem. Oké. Oké, wilt je een sticker? Alles. Jouw vader eigenlijk. Shit up. Oğlum. Şişe ula. Laat hem. Of wilt je mij me spelen? Bij deze grijze. Ja, er is een guy bij jou. Ik heb hem net niet kunnen hitten met zo'n kanker. Pas op, kill hem. Hij heeft geen wapen. Oh, ik probeer te komen. Ik heb het enige een revolver. Is het dansen, agro? Ik weet niet waar ze zijn. Nice. Ik kom. Oh, maar ik heb alleen een kankerrevolver.
No luck getting pregnant. Then I thought, what if I had another girlfriend too? I don't know if it was the thought of losing my mom and not giving her what she wanted, or if I was actually going insane or something. But I asked Leanne, who lived at the end of the village, if she'd like to be my girlfriend too. And obviously she said yes. Please don't judge me for two-timing. I just felt desperate. And then shit hit the fan. Clearly the universe wasn't playing with me. On the same day, they both called me and told me they were pregnant. Amy was a strict Catholic and said her parents would kill her if we didn't get married. So I married her at home and we had a quiet little ceremony. But then, Leanne told her dad she was pregnant, and he threatened to beat my ass if I didn't marry his daughter. I knew I didn't have a choice, but was it even legal? 2 wives? But no one would need to know. This all happened in the same week. Suddenly I had 2 wives and 2 babies on the way. Leanne's dad gave me a job on his farm, so I spent the daytime with Leanne. Then every night I'd go home and stay with Amy. Can you believe I didn't get caught? My parents knew about Amy, but I just prayed they didn't find out about Leanne. Listen, I wasn't happy about it. In fact, I didn't feel anything for these girls, and I was sure it would get out at some point. And it did, because both of them gave birth to boys. I was there for Amy's, and had to rush over to Leanne's to make her birth too. And the mayor held another stupid ceremony. Well, there was no way I could go. Everyone would find out. I packed a small bag and gave my mom a kiss goodbye, and then I took my dad's old bicycle and cycled out of the village as far as I could. I rented a small room at a cheap hotel, but then every social media platform reported me missing. The whole village was looking for me. I tried to disguise myself as someone else.
Oğlum, ik weet niet. Ik ga echt blij zijn dat ik op PC ben, agro. Oh. Ja, maar ik wil gewoon niet meer op deze kanker PC. Oh. Sweaty. Ik ga iedereen pakken, agro, op PC. Ja, te pro worden. Oké. Op mij? Nee, maakt niet. Oh, maar wat is er met mijn aim?
And I started working at a grocery store.
Nee, maar ik kan niet meer op PS4 spelen.
Time passed and no one found me. I started having male friends my age, which was pretty cool. But to be completely honest, I also missed my family. I was scared of what they'd do if I went back to see them, so I never did. Until one day, after a whole year passed, I heard a knock on the door. It was the motel manager standing there with my 2 wives, and he said, "These women are looking for you." I wanted to run, but I saw that they were holding 2 adorable baby boys. My 2 wives told me, "We want you back. We don't care that you're married to both of us, but if it's too much for you, you can choose one." I hated how my life was like before, but after seeing my 2 boys, I couldn't stay here. My village needed me to have more children. Both of my wives were pretty cool, so I decided to stay married to them both. And eventually, I got a 3rd wife after a few years. And today, I became the proud father of 10 boys.
Chez Sun, nous effectuons des tests sur les tâches les plus tenaces. Et ce que vous pouvez constater, sans être un expert, c'est que la nouvelle capsule Sun Optimum laisse une vaisselle étincelante. Nouveau capsule Sun Optimum.
I have 10 sisters, and I'm the only boy in the family. And that made my life miserable. But for real, guys, if you're not subscribed, I grew up in an orphanage. I have no idea who my biological parents were. But all I knew was that apparently I wasn't good enough for them, so they gave me up for adoption. Life in the orphanage was dreadful. Every kid was pretty much the most selfish, conceited kid you could find. I was bullied every day by the older kids. They would pinch my ears, pull down my pants, toss me in the lake. I was a little boy, so there wasn't much hope for me to defend myself. And the caretakers were so overwhelmed by the amount of orphans on their hands that they didn't have the time to care for my petty problems. I thought my life would continue on like this forever.
Kom lazy Ollem, lazy. Ja, kom even in, weet je, bro. Ja. Ja, als ik een PC heb, kom maar. Dan Wolle wordt genukt. Wolle ook 5-0 man. Welke trio? Ik weet niet, kies. Maar je moet champion daarvoor hebben, hè. Maar ja. Naar mij. Mijn fucking koolplaats niet, bro.
Day after day of bullying, teasing, and boredom. Some families came to the orphanage looking to adopt, but no one seemed to like me. As it came round to my 11th birthday, I had pretty much accepted the fact that I was never going to get adopted. I was too old. No one wanted an 11-year-old boy. That's why I was so surprised when my caretaker told me a family was looking to adopt a boy. She said that maybe I could meet with them and we could see how it went. I was so nervous. I put on my best clothes, though they weren't that fancy. They were the best I had, and I met my soon-to-be adoptive parents. They were both so nice. They said that they had always wanted a boy, but never had one. We talked for an hour, and they asked me about my life and whether I liked it at the orphanage.
Bij Coolblue hebben we de beste blender voor jou. Vandaag besteld, morgen smoothies maken.
Working with videos can be frustrating. Luckily, UniConverter.
I told them about the bullies. They looked at each other and seemed to nod. Then the woman, my mom, asked me if I would like to come live with them. Are you adopting me? I asked in disbelief. They nodded. But we should...
Looks right. Yeah.
Warn you, said the man, my dad. We have a lot of daughters, who you would be living with, of course. Of course, I cried gleefully. I rushed towards them and embraced them like I had known them all my life. I was so happy. Finally, a family. We would do everything together, and I was so excited to have a sister. Finally, everything was going right. When we packed my stuff and arrived at their house, I was shocked. The house was enormous. It looked like it could fit 12 people. Then, standing at the front in 2 straight rows, were a bunch of girls, all at different heights and ages. They watched us as the car pulled up. My dad ruffled my head. Meet your sisters, he chuckled. I gasped. There were 10 sisters in total. 10 sisters. That was crazy. I opened the car door, stepping out. They all stared at me. None of them smiled, nor said a word. Hi, I mumbled.
Dus wat wilt je doen?
Then they all laughed and rushed towards me. Several of them stepped up to hug me. Some of them seemed to be adults already, whilst others were also a few years younger than me. They all introduced themselves, each shouting out their name excitedly.
Kom, we gaan championship doen, fighting championship. Dat is met 16 mensen. En dan we gaan tryharden dan gaan. Ik ga jou onderpoepen.
I'm Mason, I said nervously. They all smiled, saying that my name was really nice, and that they had always wanted a brother. And I felt so relieved. I was worried my new sisters...
Bogdan gaat dood. Bogdan gaat dood. Ja, zeg maar lollen. Ja, ja. Sheh. Je gaat geschieid antwoorden, Bogdan. Ja, ja. Allemaal excuses, Aaron. Ja. Ik ga deze dingen winnen. Dood, Olm.
Wouldn't like
Max, I know. Huh? Oh, ik speel tegen een zweter. Ah, ik heb hem dood. Bruh, deze guy wil me pickaxen. Fuck, kom maar, bro. Ah, dat is wel beter, agro. Ah, je zit noob. Deze, ja, ik zeg dat toch. Ik zeg dat toch, dat is kapot leuk. Dat is goed voor jouw boxfight te trainen.
My adoptive parents were lovely, especially my mom. She always tucked me in and gave me warm cuddles. I know I wasn't supposed to have favorites, but I definitely loved her the most. For the next couple of days,
ik ben nog steeds alive.
They all wanted to make sure I was
ik ben nog steeds, ik leef nog steeds.
Feeling safe, comfortable, and loved. And I kept telling them over and over that I was. I was so thankful for them. And I wished this joy could last forever. But alas, it did not. For as the weeks went by, the initial excitement of having a new member of the family faded away. My supposedly loving sisters basically abandoned me. I guess they were initially caring, because I was a brother that...
Nee. Ik weet niet, ik sta in de top 3 nu.
Play with, but after a while, they left me to play by myself. They were all girls, and frankly, I had nothing in common with them. We didn't really do the same stuff. We didn't like the same books, we didn't like the same topics. We were so different. And the fact that I was adopted didn't help me. I could tell my dad was excited to have a son. He could do all the things he couldn't do with a daughter. He took me out fishing a lot, and tried to get me involved in sports. Sometimes he would call me to the house to watch the football.
Ik ben dood.
It seemed interesting, but in all honesty...
Doe nog eentje. Amma. Ja, ik weet dat. Ja, ik ben derde plaats. Ja, ja. Maar ik kom terug tegen dezezelfde guy. dood! Hij heeft niks begrepen, deze guy. Hoezo? Maar wacht. Naar deze ronde. Ja, sorry, boog, wacht. Ja, wacht.
I remember on my 7th birthday, I was particularly excited about one gift. It was a first aid kit toy. My relatives asked me multiple times if I was going to be a doctor when I grew up, but I always said, no, I'm going to be a nurse. They laughed, saying I was joking, but I wasn't. I thought it was the best job in the world. Hey there, remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and activate the notification bell so you're the first.
Voilà. Is dat goed nu? Deze guy. Volg dan Olla. Nee. Ik was even afgaan. Ik sta eerst naar Gro. Ja. Ik sta nog steeds derde. Ah, je bent een noob. Je is een noob. Ja, ja. Nee, dat is ambetant dat je steeds tegen dezelfde guys komt. Dood, bro. Maar ik ben sowieso dood dan, maar ik god om. Ja, ik ook, maar er komt geen nieuwe guy bij mij. Ik heb deze ronde gewonnen, maar er komt niemand. Yo, Bojan, kinda sunshine. Ja. Kies. Maar niet doodgaan, hè.
I was sitting in the school cafeteria with my friend Louise. It was just your typical boring day at school when Louise suddenly let out a gasp. "Where did they come from?" she said. I spun around to see what had caught her attention. My mouth dropped open. I was lost for words. Standing at the entrance were the two best-looking boys I had ever seen in my life.
Okay,
they
ready.
were obviously identical twins. You couldn't tell them apart. "Wow," I said. "Who are they?" "Hey, I saw them first," Louise said, laughing. I knew she was only messing around. She already had a serious boyfriend. She wasn't interested in anyone else. "I'm going to introduce myself to them," I said, standing up. "But before I go on, make sure you..." "Tessa, I'm Sam. This is my twin brother Sean," said one of the boys. "Are you new here?" I asked. The twins told me that they had just moved here because their dad had bought a company in our town. "Well, if you need anyone to show you around, just let me know," I said. "Thanks, we might take you up on that offer," Sam said. The bell signaling the end of lunch break rang. "Better get back to class," I said. "See you around." I went back to where Louise...
Ik... Skippybal, lolla, je moeder skippybal aan. Kom bij die dingen, bij die houtdingen. Maar bij die pump. Putain. Lolla, je bent echt... Oh, ik heb echt zin op PC te grinden, man.
Oh my god, I said. I think I've just died and gone to heaven.
Ik ga jou carry op PC. Nee, je gaat geen shit antwoorden. 5-0 voor mij. Als je mij op PC laat lachen, wordt geen... Nee. Ja, maar laten we 10 dagen oefenen op een kapot duur keyboard. Ik ben beter als jou. Ja, allemaal excuses. Zijn er mensen? Ja, Olm! Iemand headshot snipe. Jawel. Ben jij dom? Jawel. Ah. Ik weet dat niet. Maar ik heb er wel een gehad. Wanneer je dood werd. Ah, maar mijn controller glitch. Kanker. Nee, maar... Oh, ik sprint automatisch verloren. Dat is goed. Oh, maar ik heb hoge ping. Oh, kanker. Oh, ik heb nog steeds 40 ping. Hoeveel nu? Ah ja, ik ook. Mag ik die perse pump, Olm? Vult jij die? Harde bagaar. Ik ga hem dokwater geven. Je bent naar Krakula. Honestly. Skippy bal. Wat als zemel, agro? Wie is de zemel? Nee, jij. Allemaal excuses. Kom, we gaan slurp dingen pakken. Geen excuses, je bent kankerslecht nou. Ja, op keyboard, maar op controller wordt dan mee. Ja, zeg maar man. Nee. Geen excuses. Nee, want je bent ook wat er zoals een pussy. Afrika. Olm. Shishola. Ik ga die slurptank pakken. Nee. Want... Ja, allemaal excuses. box. Dood. Wolla wel. Tu papi fucking muñeño. Shishaula. Amına kodum sekser git lan. Ik hoop dat ik mijn PC morgen, vrijdag krijg. Vrijdag. Maar ze gaan die in elkaar steken. Ik ga kijken als ze dat doen, hè. Ja, man. En lekker 3060 inpompen. Huh? Ah, ik weet dat niet. Ik weet niet. Maar dat is constant 240. Omdat ik heb dat opgezocht op YouTube en dan... Dat is een van de snelste RAM dingen en zo. Oh, gouden pump. Wil je paars hebben? Voilà, kom. Ja, voilà. Door mythicje, allee, hoe heet dat? IJzeren chest, dan ben ik godom. Nee. Ik heb niks, ja. Ben je blind? Hard op, bagar. Ha! Kei! Oh. Maar ik heb niks. Ja, Ola, kom. Hier, pak peper, Olam. Peper in mij. Amana. Nokt. Jij zet een flopper, gewoon. I'm so good. Ja, ja, allemaal excuses. Ja, kom. Oké. Bro, je bent 1,40 meter bovenaan. Ja, ja. Ik heb niks van AR, man. Ja, nu heb ik 44 AR online. Bro. Je hebt meer als mij, je zacht. Olm. Shieldvlies lan. Jellyfish. Olm. Shah. Shah. Olm. Pak die jellyfish al. Juist! Je zet toch wat, ik moet jou altijd carryen. Kat. Nee. Ik heb er geen 10 of zo. Hoeveel heb je er nodig? Ik heb er 10. Maar ik weet niet, ik heb die 10 metal dingen nodig. Voor uw vader te upgraden, voor jouw moeder te upgraden. Maar waar ga je upgraden eigenlijk? Kom. Kom. Ik ga je dat droppen. Maar bro, ik kan een score maken, maar ik heb er nog 2 nodig. Hier, pak. Olm. Oh mensen. Ja, hier. Voor me. Nee, duo, wacht. Hij heeft mij gezien. 50. Op de verste. De 30 op de groene. Nog een keer 30. Nice, we hebben hun. Pushen. Wordt gepusht, ja. Nee, ik heb geen healings. ...60 cracked. Oh! Shit on, ik heb scar en gouden pump. Hier is paarse primal als je wil. Ik heb geen AR ammo, sorry. Ik heb geen 800 AR ammo. Ik heb er geen 800, sorry. Ik heb er geen 800. Ik heb er geen 800. Nee, ik heb maar 230. Wacht. Drie agro. Ja, alleen big pot, maar ik kan dat niet geven, sorry. Ik heb alleen maar een flopper als healing nog. Bruh, dat is wel veel healing agro. Hier, je hebt hier mushrooms, kom. Nu we maken eindelijk eens een beetje punten, Bogdan. Nu nog placement, we winnen deze potje. En niet doodgaan, Bogdan. Oh, nog een mens. 30 headshot. Hola, kom. Help ook dan, Olom. Op eentje. Op die paarse. Die is control. Dood. Nee, eentje en nog die paarse is 1 HP op mij. Ook dan Holla, heb hem. Nice! Nog mensen, bro. Oh, ja, pak hem. Ja, maakt niet uit. Oké, ga weg. Ja, ga boven. Ja, maakt niet uit, GG. Ah wel, had je hem gewampend? Wat een placement.
They're so cute. I could hardly concentrate on my lessons for the rest of the day. I just kept on thinking about the twins. I definitely had a big crush on them, but I wasn't so sure who I liked more. The twins were soon popular with everyone at school.
Ik ben nog in loading screen en ook kalm.
And it wasn't before long they had made it onto all the school sports teams.
Kalm, toi.
They were also really good fun outside of school. They had only been at our school for a few weeks when they invited everyone to their house for a pool party. I was so excited. This would be my chance to get to know everyone. At school. They were always surrounded by their friends or groups of giggling girls. It was hard to get a moment on my own with them. When we arrived at their house, I was shocked. It was enormous. It literally took me about 10 minutes to walk up the driveway to their house. Their parents were obviously really wealthy. I knew that they always had nice clothes and the latest sneakers, but this was on a whole new level. Their kitchen was bigger than my whole house. We went outside to the garden. Some of my friends were already swimming in the pool. The twins showed me where I could change and told me to help myself to anything I wanted to eat or drink. They had set up a table in the pool house with every possible drink or snack anyone might ever want. I went and joined everyone in the pool, but I still didn't get the chance to speak to them on my own. I felt a bit out of their league, to be honest. Of course, they wouldn't want to date someone ordinary like me. Even though they never showed off about how much money they had, they probably only dated the daughters of their parents' rich friends. My parents weren't rich. They couldn't afford to buy me the latest clothes or give me money to go out to fancy restaurants. Well, if I wanted to date one of them, I would need to start earning my own money. I decided there and then that I would try to find myself a Saturday job. That way, I would have my own money. I would be able to buy nice things and would be able to go to the places they went to. I started looking online for any vacancies in our area. I saw an ad that caught my eye. A company in town was looking for a girl to work on Saturday with sending out emails, answering the telephone, and making coffees. I could definitely do that. I sent off my CV and crossed my fingers. It was only a couple of days later that I got a reply. I nervously opened the email.
Ah, bent je al klaar? Bruh, nee, dat kan niet. Mijn fucking nyanjo. Zeg mijn ballen. Kankeromo. Kies. Nou man, nee, niet, ik wil niet met hem triomf, hij gaat onze punten neuken. Ah ja. Maar nu mijn aim is zelf opgewarmd, want ik had die guy onder shit, maar ik had niet genoeg HP om die andere te pakken. Ja, heb je punt al terug? Hoeveel heb je? Voor wat? Nee, ik heb dat gewoon in brand gestoken. Kunt je mij helpen met minis? Nee, niet bij mij. Ja, ik weet het, maar niet bij mij. Oké, ça va. Nice. Als ze schiet op mij, bro. Ja, chill. Ik heb een big pot voor jou, kom. Ze zitten zo op dat dak. Bij dat, naast het gele huis. Nee, maar ze zijn waarschijnlijk weg. Oh, mensen! In jouw huis. Waar je geloot had. Hier, doghouse. 2. Op eentje. No, cracked, Siren, cracked. Cracked, nog eens. $50 white. Dood. Oh mijn god, shit dan. Ja, pas op, pas op. Ah, ze sluipen, maar ze denken... Wacht met schieten. Ik weet waar hij zit perfect, maar hij denkt dat we hem niet zien. Bij mijn dingen, bij die walls, bij dat park, maar niet schieten. Hij gaat komen. Bro, deze AR heeft te veel bloem. Ah, ze hebben gas tank gedaan, pas op bro. Oh, maar wat gaan ze met boven op afstand doen? Pas op ook dan, nice. Wat gepushen? Is 30 white op eentje bro. Nice, ik ga laten ontploffen. Hij kan nooit reviven deze guy. Hebt jij minis voor mij om? Nu we gaan weer lekker hè Bogdan. Kom op man. Ik had bang dat we deze fight gingen choken, maar ik had goede. Ah nice. Ik ja. Nice. Bogdan, ik dacht dat we de eerste fight gingen choken omdat ik dacht dat we die guys niet hadden. Ja, we hadden ze niet gehit zeg maar. En dan, maar ik heb al mijn shots gehit. Ik heb ze gewoon gepoept, aggro. Boy, dan stel je voor, ik train een beetje op PC, wallah. Ik bedoel met controller, hè. Wallah. Je hebt dat gezien met mijn dingen. Bij jou, toen ik bij jou was. Oh, sorry. Wat is er begonnen? Tegen wat is dat? Bayern München. Ik denk het. Ja. Oh, hoezo? Wanneer is dat? Nee, maar hoe laat? Een vraag? Hoe laat? Maar dat is niet ver. Vraag hoe laat Bogdan dat die match is. Olm. Ja, is goed. Ah, we hebben slurp druk. Ik geef die paarse pump, Olm. Ah, zweer! Ah, bruh, thanks. Ah, thanks. Wie is beter, ik of Jonas? Thanks. We moeten naar cirkel. Ja. Gewoon 300 meter, maar dat is nog zo. Ik kom gewoon zo. Want de zon dat begint kleiner te worden. En weet je, hier is dit sidebook dan. Nu. Ziet je? Ja, voilà. Hier kan niks komen enkel. Of ze moeten gewoon zo gaan. Maar hier komen mensen van hier, Bonnie, blap, blap, blap. Nice. We gaan even deze potje proberen winnen. Ja, oppassen voor dino's soms. Ah, shush. Gewoon mijn AR naar score. Wacht, ik moet er nog eentje hebben. Revolver. Wolle, ik word geattackt. Knap. Kankerturk. Ja, ik weet het, maar 200. Oppassen voor die dino. Hij gaat je attackeren. Nou, nu is het ook low. Gaan we naar kolom. Mensen met boot. $25 per dingen. Oh, hier, guys bij mij. Ik heb hem niet kunnen eten door deze kanker, ja. Hij is solo bro. Oh, kanker bro. Ah, achter ons. Bruh. Ja. Correct. Nee, ik heb gewoon in brand gestoken. Ja, maar ik weet niet of ze mij gaan pushen. Oh, maar oh, echt een kanker, man. Ik ben 1 AP. Mag dan niet pieken, ze komen mij pushen, Ah, laat. Ze komen jou pushen. Blijf zitten. Ik blijf ook zitten. Hebben ze die guys gekillt? Wacht, hij komt. Nee. Oké, we moeten hier nu wegkomen. Oh, maar ik word van letterlijk 120 meer. Je kunt reviven, kom. Kom snel, anders. Ja, Ox, doe snel. Deze guys, we hebben nooit chance. Ja, maakt niet uit. Beneden daar ligt een paarse pump. Pas op. Ga je in een koon zitten, Bogdan? Ga je in een koon zitten? Oké. Blijf gewoon hier zitten, Bogdan. Ze gaan jou niks doen. Ja. Allee, ga. Allee, ga. Nee, niet. Ja. Ja, maakt niet uit. Kom nog een match. Bakkies. Ja, maar ik ga stoppen om 9 uur, dus. Yo. Het is weer? Ja, is goed.
Wat gun.
Oké.
Ik ben Tantulo.
Nee, waarom doe je dat?
Ik ben dat niet.
Hallo Senna.
Hallo.
Rennen.
Ik ben niet meer duo met Thibaut.
Thibaut, hoezo? Maar wie is het geduo?
Nu met Jonas.
Bruh.
De Masters.
Nee,
maar
ik heb zelf gezegd dat hij kankergay is.
Nee.
Ja, ik heb dat letterlijk gezegd. En hij is ook nog eens fucking slecht.
Je weet toch dat je nu met hem aan het praten bent?
Nee, maar ik heb hem geblokt, dus hij kan me niet horen.
Oh.
Dat is ik had beter van je verwacht, man. Alom.
Maar nee, maar weet je waarom dat... Kijk, daarnet ik invite Thibaut de hele tijd, hij joinde niet. Gisteren ook, ik invite hem de hele tijd, hij joinde niet.
Ja, bij mij ook, maar...
Maar ik weet niet waarom, maar ik kan met Jonas gewoon chill spelen. Ik kan er gewoon 30 mee spelen, snap je?
Oh, daar is een guy.
Dat is je 2v2.
Oh, ik weet niet, dan moet je aan Jonas vragen.
Ja.
Ah, oké. Oh, Boggy.
Bogdan?
Dat is goed.
Wat is het? Jelle. Sinne!
I couldn't believe it. I had got the job.
Ja, doe je
Saturday
partner.
Waarom inviteer Jelle mij niet?
morning, I woke up early and got myself ready.
Wie is je
After
echte
breakfast, my dad
duo-partner?
drove me into town. Just do your best, Tessa.
Jelle.
He told me as he dropped me off in front of the building.
Of
"Good
wacht
luck."
Jelle voor de vakantie?
I watched my dad drive off into the distance.
Edit.
Once he was out of sight, I went into the building. There was a lady sitting behind a desk in the middle of the building. I guessed that she must be the receptionist. Excuse me, I said. I'm the new Saturday girl. Where do I need to go? The receptionist told me I was to go up to the 10th floor. I pushed the elevator button and watched as the numbers went down one at a time. Ping! The doors opened and I stepped inside. My heart was beating so loud, I felt sure that everyone else in the elevator would be able to hear it.
Hoeveel schoolboeken heb jij in je hele leven overgeslagen? Zijn het 20,
Ik heb 4 settings gemaakt van het oorlog.
But if they didn't say anything. Eventually, the
Ik weet niet waarom zeg ik de hele tijd aan like je
would not believe what happened.
Ja, ik weet het
I
wel.
stepped out of the
Ik hoorde
elevator and banged
enige wat
straight
ik
into
hoorde.
someone walking down the corridor. Oh, excuse me, I said. I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I wanted the ground to open up and swallow me. I was so embarrassed. How could I have done that on my first morning at work? I heard a voice say. I looked at the person I had bumped into. Sean? Or Sam? I said. I could never work out which one of the twins I was talking to. What are you?
Ja, ga ik doen.
I asked. This is my dad's company. Oh, and
like you a
by the
little
way, it's
bit.
Sean, he said laughing.
Ja, nu moet ik dat de hele tijd zeggen.
I told him that I had applied to work here as a Saturday girl.
Ik heb
and
iemand
I
als
got
vriend
the
dat is
job.
200.
Will you be seeing a lot of me then? Sean said.
Nee.
Well, Sam and I always hope.
Maar nee, ik wil back to you gaan, ik ben niet eens geliefd.
For the rest of the morning, I was really busy.
Boogie
I
down.
hardly had time to think about Sean or Sam.
Ja, Boogie down, kom.
Hey jongens, ik moet gaan eten, oké?
Moet je even gaan.
Ik moet gaan eten, oké? Ik ga eten.
Aan de standaard.
Ik ga eten, jongens.
Bro, jij gaat eten, jij gaat allemaal excuses weer aan je te rennen.
I sat there looking out of the office window.
Ja, en jullie zijn verliefd op allemaal
And was
excuses.
feeling quite pleased with myself.
Allee, blauw jaar gaat het best. Hey, wil je mijn sessie, wil je alles, check wat ik heb gedaan met mijn settings op dingen, hè. Dus look sensitivity op 4, aim sensitivity op 10, build mode sensitivity multiplayer 2.5, edit mode sensitivity multiplayer 2.7, push advanced options on, look horizontal speed 49, look vertical speed 50. Alleen mijn edits zijn een beetje sneller geworden. Maar kijk, zie je, kijk mijn edits. Wacht even, ik drop mijn wapen. Kijk mijn edits, oké? Ze zijn een beetje sneller geworden. Wacht. Maar ik haat als iemand spreekt, kan ik dat zelf niet. Oh. Maar ik kan dat alleen doen als iemand niet kijkt. Ja, nu heb ik gekeken. Ik build nu echt... Mijn build controls zijn nu te snel. En edits. En edit controls zijn sneller dan mijn build controls. Wat de fuck stond ik op je kop? Wat de hel stond ik op je kop? Wacht, ik heb die andere even goed.
me, there was a knock at my door. Come in, I shouted.
Maar ik wou fighten, maar je had high ground, dus ik wou die high ground afpakken.
The door opened and one of the twins.
Maar het was een beetje moeilijk.
Hey, it's Sean. I thought you might want to.
Ik speel nu crouch. Ik speel nu crouch. Ik speel nu crouch! Crouch. Nee, grapje, dat kan ik echt niet. Wat? I don't know, ik wou eens proberen. Waarom schoot jij niet? Maar jij doet mij precies als ik een bot ben, precies. Ja. Maar jij doet precies als ik precies een bot ben. Wat? Dus zij kunnen ook gelopen. Ja, maar... Speel goed tegen mij, want anders ga ik niet beter worden. Volgens mij is dat maar... Wat is dat? Maar... Wacht hè. Is dat mijn derde dag dat ik op controller speel? Ja, dus zie je, dat is normaal dat ik niet zo goed ben. Mooi. What? Just shut up. Oh fuck, okay. Wat? Nou ja, dat is goed. Wat? Maar waarom edit dat bij mij ook niet? Ik wil eens zien, ja. Ready. Dan moet ik mijn pick stoppen. Nee, dat ga ik niet doen. Nee, ik wil dat net doen.
Hallo? Hallo? Ja. Kunnen jullie... Waar zijn jullie?
BAE. Hey. Is je broer paranoia geworden voor dan?
I don't like you a little bit. Waarom zeg je dat?
Is je broer paranoia geworden, Bogdan? Ik hoorde hem.
Welke loot? Welke loot, jongens?
Blauw gaat het hem, dat is toch normaal. Okay, I'm playing.
Waarom schreeuw je zo?
Maar nee, want ik kom met mijn pin schieten. Ik schiet hier eens met mijn EO. Ja, dat is goed.
Gaan we iedereen fighten?
Van Bayern München. Sí, Macarena! What the fuck? Ja, Tichayo, Niayo.
Boogie down, is dat jouw taal? Zoals hetzelfde zoals Janne. Martien.
Ja.
Wat Boogie dan praat, is dat hetzelfde zoals jou de taal?
Nee, hij praat precies, ik praat Pools. Kom mama, ik wil jou laten vliegen.
Boom! I like you, Kudgy. Wacht eventjes. Martien, wacht hè. Doe dat close.
Ja, en dan?
Wacht hè. Je moet de pin floaten.
Maar dat kan soms Rift niet. Maar Rift kan dat zelfs niet. Zie je, dat kan Rift zelfs niet.
Ja, we 1v1?
Oké. Laat me eens een keer iets proberen onzichtbaar te doen. Stel je voor dat ligt op kantoor.
Invisible! Invisible! Invisible, Martien! Invisible! Invisible!
Bro, controller. Oei, ik ben een controller player dat alles ons werk kan maken, Bodan. En nu ga je door!
Gaan we direct fight?
Oké, go.
Go.
Ik kan met elbow.
Ja, ik kan ook. Dat is stevig.
Ja. Stevig om metaal.
I don't like a little bit. Waarom zeg ik dat? Ik zweer.
Nee, ik kan niet zeggen, waarom zeg je dat weer?
Huh?
Sushi! Ik praat Japan.
I don't like a little bit. Waarom zeg ik dat?
Ja, wou dat weer zeggen, toch?
Heb je allemaal met de action boosten? Yo!
Wat dan? Waarom kan ik geen? Ik heb alleen, dat is toch te makkelijk.
Je section niet moet zitten. Waar ben je?
Hier. En ik boek zo. Alleen niet zo.
Ik wil gewoon hitten.
Wat zeg dan?
I don't like you. A little bit.
Oh, heb ik geen.
Moet je gewoon. Als je met pik krijgt, krijg je nog een gift.
Maar je hebt toch 15 V-bucks?
Nee, niet meer. Nu 500.
Hoeveel zet je?
84. DG.
Maar je hebt geen V-bucks.
Haha, ik liegde. Ik liegde. Zet je kop. Hey. Oh, wel, één is te.
Ik heb terug aan hier.
Oh, joh. Moet dan beter bacteriën doen. Of dat kan je hem niet killen. Allee. Dan ben je hem. Bam. Hoor je bam. Bam, boom. Wacht hè. Oké, wanneer je een pro bent en ik... Oké. Kom hè. We gaan deze wapen pakken.
Welke wapen?
Huh?
Welke wapen?
Deze wapen, pistool.
Dus we daarmee vechten?
Ja. 3, 2, 1.
Je hebt zelfs niet afgetoond.
Ik had eerst assist, maar...
Dat was hem.
En dan like... Had je dat gehoord? Ik glitchte. Reload. Yo, dat gaat kerst wanneer je reload. Wat dat gaat kerst hè?
Ik kan ook dat clip in de community.
And like a little bit.
Donderdag clip. Donderdag clip.
Where are you?
I'm here. Je hebt een punt.
Huh?
Ik heb tactical.
Waarom tik? Ik kan eten verslaan niet tikken. Heb je een telefoon in? En dan like, wacht eventjes, ik pak ook een tik, ik ben kerstdruk.
Maar ik geef niet meer die tijd, dat wil ik niet.
Allee, kom aan.
Maar dan mag jij ook met tik.
Moe! And I like a little bit. I hate you so much from the world. Maar ik kan pump maken. I like a kitty.
Stop, ik kan dat niet meer doen.
Oké. Boom. Invisible, hè?
Nee, ik ben een controle player.
Hoe doe je dat?
Wat?
Hoe doe je dat?
Ik weet niet, ik edit. Ik ben aan het editen.
Hoe doe je dat? Man.
I don't know. You don't know.
Je hebt geen invisible gemaakt.
Jawel, nee, hij heeft al kapot gemaakt.
Oh nee.
Ja, maar waarom zou ik dan daar net vliegen?
I'm pro.
You don't not pro.
Ah ja, wie die pro? Kijk, jij zet de laatste.
Wat?
Nee, jij zet de eerste. Hoe ben je de eerste? Nee, kom. Edit is een muur.
Hey! Mama, wat loop jij erbij? Heb je gemist?
Zit eventjes, Weber. Stop, zit. Dombo.
Hello.
Mag ik je kop zien?
Nee.
Kom eventjes. See. I like you, kitty. I like you. You are dog.
Water.
No, you are dog shit. Allee, edit, please, edit. Ik ben 1 appje wanneer je mijn pickaxe je weet.
Een gift.
Ja. Je weet, wacht het tot van de... Ik heb. Ik ben 18 AP.
Of nee, als ik jou nu pik, dan moet ik jou niet terugkiezen.
Yo, wanneer ik 504 bucks heb, hè?
Maar nee, als ik jou nu pik, dan moet ik jou niet terugkiezen.
Ja, met teruggiften.
Nee, dan moet ik jou niet terugkiezen.
Je wil wel teruggiften.
Maar nee, dus ik jou nu, dan moet ik jou niet meer terugkiezen, oké? Maar ik weet ook niet, je kan mij ook een 200 geven, hè?
Allee, laat je kop zien. Niet gewoon beelden.
Maar jij gaat weg.
Ik pak high ground. Oh, ik ben 18 AP. Giften.
Nee! Ik moet het er niet giften.
Giften.
Wat? Weet je... Wat was dat zo? Cultures, niet cultures, Rift, die kan dat toch onzichtbaar doen en dat blijft vooral de hele tijd.
Oh, oké.
Ik ga dat doen dat voor de hele tijd blijft. Of weet je wat? Op een platform dan vliegen we.
Oh ja.
Of weet je, wacht. Doe dat, laat. Of wat?
Maar ik doe dat kapot, oké?
Nee. En doe dit nu kapot. En dit moet zo 460 AP hebben en dit. Dan ga ik dat low maken tot 10 AP, ik ga dat editen. Nee, doe niet doen. Dan gaat dit onzichtbaar zijn, dan dit onzichtbaar zijn en dat gaat blijven. Dat gaat toch cool zijn?
Wacht, hè?
Nee, en nu 1 keer 13 AP, hè. Oké, moet niet als dat kapot is.
This is invisible.
Fuck, nee, ik heb dat fout gedaan.
Yo, hoe doe je dat?
Waarom kan ik dat niet? Oké, laat dat zo.
Het is gewoon 13 AP.
Ja, dan blijft het.
Ik kan dat wel hitten.
Anders gaat dat kapot, hè.
Mag ik bij op piemel hitten?
Doe maar.
Yeah. Lekker.
Ben jij echt dom? Ik wil dat low maken. Aan vliegen. Ik ben aan het vliegen. Ga eraf.
Ik ben aan het zitten.
Maar ga eraf, we gaan zo'n prank doen aan Bogdan.
Ja, maar... Ja. Ik ga ook de skin pakken.
Ja, en doe die dan ook, hè.
Maar ik moet ook die skin pakken,
Oh fuck, ik ben gevallen.
Oh,
maar je hebt
Lily. Let's go. Ja, hij komt. Wacht, hè. Nee. I like it a little bit.
Verpulgen.
Doe die dan.
Zee. You.
Je moet blijven stilstaan.
Wij doen met doet jogging time. Daarna moet ik gaan lezen,
Maar dat lijkt dat we letterlijk echt vliegen.
Ja. Wanneer komt Boogie?
Echt hè. Eet hij zo lang?
I do like a little bit.
Ja, maar ik heb het niet.
Oké, kan je spelen? Omdat misschien is het 1 uur. Misschien moet ik 1 uur lezen. Of 45 of 55. Kan je spelen?
Wat?
Zo, wanneer het zo. Ik ga lezen 1 uur of 45 minuten of 55. Kan je spelen?
Maar ik blijf spelen de hele tijd.
Oké, blijf gewoon de hele tijd spelen. Oké?
Gaat die broer spelen? Weet niet. Armar? Bogdan? Kijk hè, er is een glitch. Als je deze dans doet, dan kan je dit doen. Nee, fuck, hoe zeg je dat? Maar kijk, ik doe dat op controller. Ik doe dat al op controller. Waar hè? Nee, ik kan dat niet doen. En ja?